Did you figure out why OBS was dying? Well, we're gonna figure out today. Because, you know, I can't really test it unless I'm live, so... Guess we're gonna find out. And now, for some reason, I cannot view my YouTube chat. That's great. Um... Let's see here. Give me one sec, guys. I have to figure stuff out. It says I'm live on YouTube, but I cannot see the stream anywhere on YouTube. It's like it's not working. Oh, it's private for whatever reason. That's so whack. Okay, now it should work. You can see it? Alright. We're gonna get there. It's just annoying. Okay. Let's see if that works. I'm gonna try that. All right. We're gonna give Golem Fist another shot today. But this time I'm gonna try to optimize it like as much as I can. So like running attack, this one, I think we also need this one, and I think this too, Rotten Wing Insignia. Probably gonna do this. And then our poise is fine. Probably something like this. Gonna try this out. All right.
Is it time? Nah.
We're gonna get to 58. Endurance, we're gonna lower it a little bit, although before I do that, just double check the dex requirement for this. So int 11, fate 11, dex requirement is minimum.
Nah.
Gonna get this to, to like 28 to start with, this to 58. Actually, let's go this to 56 and then pump strength up.
My fat.
And from there, we're gonna see how much endurance we need. Wow, we only need 30. That's not a lot. That is pretty minimal. That's gonna give a lot of points to spare. This could be nasty. Maybe we can go above 80 strength, which, quite frankly, I don't think it's of any use, but... of course, we're gonna go Barbaric Roar on this. And let's take a look at our AR. Wait, this one. Okay, so the AR is 455. Let's go to 54 just to see like proper AR. And also let's compare it to Starfist just to see. Okay, so we're at 473 versus 447. We're gonna get this to 80 strength, first of all. And we have points to spare. So at 80 strength, we're at 537 versus 508. And if we get to 90, we only get 10 extra AR. It's not really worth it, honestly. Not worth it. I think after 80 strength, it's just simply like not worth the extra investment. It's like you get very little return for what you get. Like 537. You get like 1 point. You only get 1 point per level that you put in. So it's not worth it. So 80 is fine. After that, we're gonna get to 60 vigor. And actually, If I do that... Okay, the scaling is pretty much non-existent. What if I go 20-20? Yeah, the scaling is non-existent for the Intent Fate. Getting 1 AR per point is not great, guys. Like, it's really not amazing. It doesn't really feel worth it. I think at this point I'm probably better off just putting more endurance. Maybe cold. Like the thing is, like with Golem Fist, you cannot bundle them, right? So they benefit more from like Ashes of War that are self-buff, and Ashes of War that are self-buff just boost the physical portion. And so it makes more sense to have like something like a Barbaric Roar, because unironically the unique R2 for the Golem Fist is the bad part about them. So you want to remove that. And so Barbaric Roar is the option that makes the most sense, all things considered. But that being said, like right now my character has points and everything I need. Like right now I have basically 60 vigor. I don't fat roll, I mid roll. My strength's at 80. I have all the requirement, and I'm basically at, like, you could make this build at 139, and, you know, you'd be at 58 vigor. That's fine. So I don't quite know where to put these other points. Right now, I'm going to level that up. And I'm going to see, like... Because technically, the only thing I can do more here, it would be to level up my endurance, but really, what does that even do that I level up my endurance? Like, I don't need anything. One thing that I might do, though, is I might swap the Highland Axe for this, just to inverse them, so that I can. I think I'm just gonna go, like, 18 dex, be able to wield the Golem Great Bow. I think that's probably the best thing I can do here. So we go 18 dex. And then after that, I think we just dump these extra points into endurance, get to 34. You know, balance the build a little bit if I ever want to switch weapon. You know, like, we're gonna fat roll with the Great Bow. I guess that's that. But at this point, like, is it really a big deal? I don't think so. Actually curious, though, like, if I remove, let's say, 2 points here. This is 6. Let's see if I can get something that has, like, 4 unit. Well, actually. Okay, so at 3 unit, I'm still fat rolling, though. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to mid-roll with the Great Bow, so I think we're just going to stick with this. So this is going to be, like, Talisman allocation. This is going to be basically the build here. We're going to rock with this. And I'm also planning to use Blood Boil to really maximize the damage. And also the big pots. We're going to have the frost pots as well. Okay, so far everything's good. This is what we're going to be using, and I think I'm going to put BHS on this here. Either I put BHS, or actually, you know what? Let me put Endure on this. I think Endure is just better suited. Alright guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to show the stats in the meantime. All right, let's do this. Did you know that if you submerge a giraffe up to the point where only its head is sticking out of the water, it will suffocate due to air-water pressure differential? That's very interesting. But it makes sense. That's crazy. I assume, like, because the neck is so long, like, you know, the lungs still have to pump the air, right? So, I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's not like a machine or a compressor. Like, it would probably have a hard time, like, pumping the air like that. I wonder about us, though. Like, what if, because, I mean, we can scuba dive, like, deeper than that. Although, I guess when we scuba dive deeper than that, you're probably not just having, like, a pipe with, like, a little hole at the surface. I'm pretty sure we have some other gear than that. We got 2 players here ganking. Alright. Go gankers. Start with. Wow, he actually lagged to save his ass. Guys are so dog shit. I mean, dude be completely dead in like 3 seconds if we get like any of them separated. And also, like, yeah, the Phantom actually lagged to save his ass because we actually did kill him there. Like, our jumping attack actually killed him. But, like, he actually took the hit late. Like, it was a timed roll catch. And, you know, I did the proper play. His connection shit itself to save him. Like, actually, like, when you look back at it, like, we actually would have won that if his connection didn't shit itself. Two players. Probably above. Oh my god, bro. The lock-on is fucking me up, too. We actually went, like, for the opposite guy every single time, and the lock-on keeps locking onto the wrong player. And this game is so jank. Like, you know, every time I play this game, I'm like, alright, you know, it's gonna be another stream. We're gonna use this and that. And when I actually get to play, it's the same thing every time. Like, the game is just so brain-deadly inconsistent. Feels like it's not even worth playing. Oh my god, like that. Like, the guy got saved by the most, like, random shit just now. Again. And he just... We got aim punch for another one. This is crazy. I'm telling you guys, like, just that, like, you know, the sequence for, like, the last invasion and then this one, like, there's always something, like, random that happens that changes the outcome of the fight for the worst. What are your thoughts on Lords of the Fallen 2 PvP? Well, I'm not holding my breath because the first one was fucking terrible. And from the sound of it, I don't really think the dev, like really put the necessary effort to make the PvP, like, or to make the connections for PvP, like, viable. I don't think they did the effort for that. Like, when they claimed that they fixed it, and then when Steel played it and it was still, like, pretty much the same thing, just slightly better, it tells me that, like, you know, like, they tried to salvage their current system, but they have the wrong networking topology, so it's never going to be good, basically. Yo, Mark, thanks for the resub for 34 months, man. Little, he just lagged there. Yep, he is lagging like crazy. Uh,
Hey!
Probably gonna be the same or pretty much marginally better. I'm not talking about like, you know, like the animations or the gameplay or anything like that. Like, you know, the first one was not that bad, like, um, if you take aside the online. Like, it wasn't like the worst game. Like, you know, it was rough around the edges, but you know, for a not like, you know, if it was a AAA game, you would have said, you know, maybe not that much, but for like a AA game, you know, it was on par with what you'd expect from like, you know, an average Souls clone. It wasn't like the worst thing. But yeah, the online was just unplayable. With that being said, obviously from what we've seen about the next one that's coming up, the next Lords of the Fallen, it definitely looks a lot more polished. Like if you take the online aside, because again, in the online I have no faith whatsoever in the performance for the online portion of the game. But like, you know, the animation look a lot better, like everything looks more polished, it looks more interesting. I think like overall, like pretty much everything is probably like a straight upgrade over the previous one. From the looks of it, you know, we haven't played it, but that's my initial impression of it, at least. The boss looked more memorable. Yeah, I mean, to me, like the bosses were not that compelling in the first one. Like, I was not a big fan of the bosses. Like, it felt, you know, it felt very janky, you know, like when some indie dev tried to imitate from software bosses, like, it's always, like, very jank to fight them. That's what it felt like with the first one, even though, you know, it had a lot of good things going for it. But I'm probably gonna give it a shot, though, like the second one. You never know, like, you always want to give, like, the game the benefit of the doubt. Like, another issue that the first one had was, like, the roll distance, which, to be honest, I think it's probably still an issue. Like, you know, these Reddit developers still have no idea what they're doing, but, you know, like, it doesn't mean the whole game's gonna be bad. Like, it has to... Like, they have to fuck up royally. Like, you know, when I played Mortal Shell, I felt like, okay, like, you know, like, there's a limit to how, like, clueless devs can be imitating Souls combat, and that limit is basically like Mortal Shell 2. Like, you cannot have that magnet effect. It just destroys the whole point of Souls combat. And so, like from my memory, Lords of the Fallen 2 didn't have, or Lords of the Fallen didn't have that issue. Like, it didn't have that magnet combat issue. So no matter what they do, I highly doubt they would be like introducing like a like major problem like that in the gameplay. So Granted that it doesn't have that problem, it's still gonna feel nice, you know, overall. Yo, Mozzarella, thanks for the bits, man. The thing I dislike about a lot of these recent Souls clone is these Reddit devs, man, they don't understand the whole, like, parry on the reaction thing. They try to make all of their games, like, Sekiro-like. It's not... you know... like, it's not a good mechanic that's just, like, taped on, like, your current systems. Like, you have to make a rhythm game, like, from the ground up. Like, Sekiro was not, like, Souls combat. It was quite different. And I'm not quite sure these devs really understand, like, what are the nuances between, like, a parry on prediction and a parry on reaction. And what should be the reward for doing so. Anyway. I don't want to put all the devs, quote-unquote, in the same basket, because that's not how it works. It's usually, like, one or two individuals that are responsible for all the gameplay decisions. But I find it crazy, you know, like you watch and you play so many games, and, like, I remember, like, I actually tried, like, it's a popular game, like, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's called, Enshrouded. Enshrouded is like a sort of, like, Minecraft-like game. And, like, when I tried that, I actually tried the beta with Steel, a while ago. And it was shocking how disgustingly bad the combat was. Like, it was, like, beyond, like, like, arcadey combat doesn't mean that the game has to be bad. And Enshrouded has the worst combat I have ever seen in any game. It is actually sad how garbage the combat is. Alright, we're gonna do this here. There you go, alright. Now the host. The host should be nearby. Could even be here, like, in this corridor. I'm gonna guess he's in the corridor. Okay, he's not. Might be hiding somewhere. Right, he's not there. The red here. Be here, maybe? Title of book, I think. No. Okay, could be hiding in the corner up there. I think that's probably what he's doing. Probably AFK. Yo, Alluvial, happy Friday, man. Seems like every dev nowadays wants to add reaction parry to their game. It's actually mind-blowing how, like, you know, every game out there, like, their combat is always bad, but, like, they sort of know their combat is bad, so they try to copy everything that FromSoft is doing without understanding, like, any of it. I find this quite fascinating, honestly. Okay, so I think the host is, like, in here. Like, the host is probably this rat, right? Yeah. Insane DC, bro. What the hell? He was just sitting there, like, waiting for people to find him to DC? That is crazy. No way. If you could have FromSoft do one thing for their game in one sentence, what could it be? Well, I mean, it depends. If you're talking about the single player, I think I would like to see From Software implement like another dimension to their gameplay, like their take on like monster climbing and climbing. I think that would be the next step for From Software game. Like with the expertise that they have in boss fight and everything, like the next dimension that they should unlock would be like monster climbing. I think it would be insane if you could monster climb in this game. Like they already have like the rest of the gameplay, like, you know, sort of figured out. Like afterward it's just like tweaking. And then obviously for the online, they had already figured out online with Dark Souls 3. Like again, it was just a matter of tweaking. But there's like plenty of directions that are that a game can go. Like, you know, you could say like From Software could go in the Elder Scrolls direction and like start implementing like more like lively cities and questing and that sort of stuff. Maybe that would be for the best, maybe not. I mean, it's pointless to say like that would be better, like that would be good or not, because it all depends on the implementation. Like it can be done right and it can be done wrong. Like we all know that like a lot of these fetch quest systems usually don't work out, but that doesn't mean that if From Software does it, it's not gonna work out, because maybe they would have like their own take on it. And if Miyazaki has showed us something, is that like as an art director, like the guy is really good and like has a very good sense of game direction overall. So you know, like if they ever like, if FromSoft ever gives a their take on the whole like questing and city and like closer to the RPG stuff, I'm pretty sure it would be amazing. Or, you know, like they could go in another direction and start implementing like some sort of like map building integrated into their game in some capacity. I mean, this guy is retarded. Like, I'm not gonna fight here, like, fucking idiot. Like, people like really think like they're gonna gank in the Rykard cave, like fucking brain dead. Just want a first-person dungeon crawler from soft slow pace, same as DS1. Honestly, that first-person game sort of exists. Like, Fatekeeper is genuinely, like, you know, you might say that, I think it's fair to say that as far as like spacing and combat mechanics, like if you've played it, like it feels very good. It feels very good. It still has that magnet effect, but not to, like, you don't have the magnet effect, so it feels good when you attack other stuff. The enemies do have magnet effect though, so, you know, it doesn't always feel good to outplay enemies. But that aside, that's like pretty much like one of the rare flaw that Fatekeeper has. And as far as like a first-person like type game, like it does it like so well. Obviously it lacks content, but it's only like $10, so honestly, if you have not played Fatekeeper, I'd recommend it. I had a lot of fun with that game. I finished it off stream, had a ton of fun with it, really enjoyed it. Feel like it's one of those games that, you know, it's an early access right now and it's cheap, and I'm eager to see what they do next with it, and, you know, what they do for the full release. I'm definitely gonna play it. How many players in there? 2 players. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's just do this instead. This guy's gonna like to us. For duels, I don't like to use Blood Boil or Medic, and I don't like to not have like a Crimson Ember Medallion to start the fights. No, it does not scam their priority. I don't know what you watched there. Like he tried to attack like after I forgot exactly what happened, but he didn't like hit me or anything. Like I didn't just L1 out of stun. Like he tried to mash out of something he shouldn't have. Or like whiff punish something he should not have. One or the other, I forgot what happened. But it was not like L2 out of stun. Or 2 out of stun, whatever. I think Night Train was an experiment? Of course it was. It was given to like another member of the From Software team directed it. It was definitely an experiment. It was a very successful one at that. Like they were very successful with the amount of resources they put into Night Train. Like Night Train was a success for them for sure. Getting scammed over here. I mean, it's hard to like focus on one guy because you ignore one, you're gonna get deleted by the other. Technically, the Phantom is the more dangerous one, but the Mage is the host. There you go. Baby jump. You're worried, or you're wondering about how it will affect combat in the next titles. I don't know. I'm not really too worried about it. Like, if you've played Night Train, like, the combat is very fun, it flows well. It wouldn't be suited for online, but I think even FromSoft knew that it wouldn't be suited for online, which is why they didn't put, or wouldn't be suited for PvP, which I should say. Which is why they didn't put it, I assume. Like, they should have done the same thing with Armored Core 6. Like, Armored Core 6 would have been, like, an amazing game without any, like stain on it. Like, the PvP puts a stain on Armored Core 6 because the PvP is just garbage. Like, not every game needs to have PvP. That's the thing. If you're gonna do it, which, you know, I definitely want them to do it, but they need to do it properly. Otherwise, it's better to not have it altogether, because it drags the game down. Imagine a separate game for PvP. Well, I can't wait to hear about Duskblood. Could be something, eh? Wow, he got that by accident. Insane. Okay. Oh, they're running, dude. Insane lag. What the fuck, dude? Man, he does not even deserve to be close in that fight. Like the animation skip is real. And the latency there. Yeah, this guy does not deserve to be like close in this. Okay, well, we're gonna oblige. Also, yeah, amazing arena, like insane sniping in this arena. And I mean, the guy was horrible, but like twice he got damage that he should not have, like at all. Once from a complete animation skip, which is like completely undeserved damage, and then the other one I forgot. It was, I think, like latency and like some whack ass interaction. Like back in Dark Souls 3, like you would kill these players clean from 100 to 0, and the game would just allow you to keep priority. In this game, you know, it's Elden Ring is very like, you know, baby game, hand holding, you know, like to each his turn. So like, oh, I attack you, now it's your turn, now you attack me. It doesn't favor the correct play. Broadcast has ended. That's weird. Bro. Did the broadcast ever stop on the YouTube side? On my end, nothing looks out of place. Running well on your side? Okay, thanks, Drez. Because apparently, like, Twitch just shut off and then went back on. I didn't do anything, though. One second. I don't even know if I'm recording. I am not recording. Great. It stopped for a second. Okay, so that's definitely not either YouTube or Twitch. Oh, the no signal is normal though. The no signal is just me switching to OBS. Yeah, if you see Elgato no signal, it's because I'm checking on OBS. I'm using the same monitor for the PC. That's why. That's normal. many people sniping in the worst location possible. Guy's latency is quite something. Oh my god. He light rolling? Bro, these players are so obnoxious. I cannot believe people like that, like, you know, like, think for them that playing the game like this is fun. Like, I don't understand. Insane latency. Nice net. And it's a fake duel. Alright. Okay. Lagging. With this. Oh, but he's going up there just to make the spacing irrelevant. God, this connection's so bad. Insane input eating. Fat rolling, no. Alright. And garbage ass goes down. Jesus Christ. Are you guys thinking that GTA will be bad? I mean, I've been saying this for like over a year. I mean, I've been saying this since the obvious happened. Like for those of you who've been like watching for a while, like you know, like, that ever since they announced GTA, I've been saying that it will likely be bad because it's not the same writers. Like, the guy, like, the main writer behind, like, all Rockstar games to that point, the reason why they were good is not there anymore. Like it's just, like, recently, because, like, some, like, more, notorious YouTubers are making vid about it. Like, now, like, people are starting to realize that, oh, it might actually be bad, but... I mean, I've been saying that ever since it was announced that the guy left. It was quite obvious. Like, now people are coming to that realization. You hope it sells really well. I don't think it's gonna sell as well if the game's not good. I'm sure the technology is gonna be, like, best in the industry, though. Like the thing with Rockstar games is, like, you know, technology-wise, they're always on top. Like, if you're talking about the best, like, technologically advanced game, it's always the next Rockstar game that's the best one. Like, it's always been like that. Like, you look at Red Dead Redemption 2 today, and, you know, like, you would not even know that the game came out, like, years and years ago. That's how good it looks. Like, you know, the reason why I've, like, always enjoyed the Rockstar games, like, personally, I always enjoyed the GTA games, and I really enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2. Didn't play the Red Dead Redemption 1, but really enjoyed the second one. It's not because of the gameplay. Like, the gameplay for I should say, the combat for the Rockstar games has always been, like, kind of mediocre, like, really mediocre combat. But everything else was always, like, you know, like, combat was always, like, something like a 2 out of 10, but everything else was, like, a 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, you know? Or maybe, like, 9 out of 10, depends on what specifically. Like, for instance, you think about the visuals. I mean, that's a 10 out of 10. They're always the best in the business. You think about the story. Up until the writer left, which is kind of the problem for the next one, the story and the characters have always been memorable and amazing, like, all the way back to, like, you know, like, the first GTA game I've played with was Vice City, and, like, all the way back then, like, it was great, like, years ago. And, you know, to San Andreas and, you know, all the other GTA games, like, story's always been amazing with memorable characters. Well, they've always nailed that as well. And, you know, all the open world elements, like, you know, to go to the more recent one, like Red Dead, which is a Western game, which the team is very niche. Like, people are not necessarily, like, attracted to Western settings. It's really just because it's Rockstar and they just do it so well. Did you like GTA 5 story? I did. I really enjoyed also the element of being able to play all 3 characters, and I liked all 3 of them. Like, the characters are very, like, you know, they have their own thing. Like, you kind of feel for them in their own way. Like, gotta be careful, not get sandwiched. And back in my days, that's a perfect backstab. Not this one, the first one. Yo, Goldmask, thanks for the resub for 36, man. Really appreciate that. The older, edgier writers all left. Yeah, I think edgy is the right way to put it. Like they probably don't fit the, you know, the soft, snowflake, modern audience anymore. And you know, even back in the days, like the Rockstar games have always been controversial. Like, you know, like mainstream media always shitted on Rockstar. Like, it was always their fault for violence in any way, shape, or form. Like, they've been like controversial ever since the beginning, but I guess in today's day and age, it's just too much. Why Golem Fist over Starfist? Golem Fist actually get more damage than Starfist. And so you mitigate all the downsides of Golem Fist when you use Barbaric Roar. It's like, or not Starfist, of Golem Fist. It's like, you know, like I know people like this R2, but it's actually the worst thing about the weapon. And also, like, you cannot bundle it. Like, see there, like I'm trying to bundle the weapon. You can't bundle these. So the two downsides of the weapon is you can't bundle it. So even if it has higher AR than Starfist, you know, look at the AR here, you'll see the difference. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. You know, like you go from actually you go from 508 or 537 to 508 here. So Golem Fist have like around 30 AR over Starfist. And so as soon as you reach like the 80 soft cap, like even with Starfist, even if the Golem Fist like take a little amount of points in Fate and End to be able to wield it, like past 80 strength, your Starfist are not gonna scale very well anyway. And so like damage-wise, the Golem Fist are actually optimal here. Fake duels, bro. See how good my damage is with this? You know, our AR reaches like 859 without really any need for any like over buff. Because like all we do is like aromatic and then you know, just the roar buff. God of War Laundry looks like another new God of War games, but without Kratos. Don't think it will be much different. To me, I find the whole, like, you know, like, hate toward God of War Laundry, like, kind of funny, because to me, like God of War was always, like the most boring-ass franchise you can think of. And so, like, to me, like, you know, people are shitting on it now, but the combat is just as bad as it's always been. Like, people are just, like, you know, they're just looking for a reason to be angry because the fucking franchise was always bad. You know, it makes no difference whatsoever. Like, it's always been bad combat and mediocre story. It's like, I don't even understand why people liked it in the first place. Like, you know, before the, you know, the whole, like, Laundry fiasco, now, like, it's not fun anymore, because before I was the only one making fun of it. Now everyone's making fun of it, so I have no reason to make fun of it now. Used to call it God of War, but now everyone has a bunch of names for it. All right. Oh, they're actually up there. I'll have to play it? Hell no, dude. Like, I'm not like one of these, what's it called? Like one of these contrarians where, like, I'm just trying to do the opposite of what everyone does. I just, you know, have my own way of thinking and I don't really diverge from that all that much. And usually I think people around me are, for the most part, not that smart, and most of the time I end up being proven right most of the time, so I'll keep doing me and, you know, see what happens afterward. But, you know, people don't like when I say that. Could have died there. Risky stuff. Well, I mean, for good reasons, Chico. Like, no one likes to get insulted, and no one likes to feel insulted. I mean, that's... It's completely normal. Like, you know, the reality is, like, most of us, right? Like, you know, people in chat, like myself, you know, we've been video games players for a long time. We've been playing video games for a while. We have better, like, hand dexterity than most players. And so our standards for good games is just higher. That's all there is to it. And so, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, other people that are not as good as video game, you know, like, you know, to their credit, maybe they're, you know, busier with other things that are more important, and they should be, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's a shame because there's not a lot of games that are made for us anymore. Like people that are good at video games. Like everything is very like hand-holding and, you know, like you want to make the experience as on the rail as possible. I don't really know like how we could describe it. Because it's not even about like simplified, because simplifying something doesn't necessarily mean it's worse. More often than not, like if you can simplify something, it's for the best. Like, you know, like for instance, from software POIS system, it's complicated for no reason, could easily be better just simplified. They dumb it down, insult to intelligence. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. It's like, I think one of the good example that you guys will really relate about is like the whole, like, why is From Software combat better than all these other games, like these melee, like let's not take fighting games, because this is like another genre on its own, but you take all these melee action games, like, you know, like third-person melee action games. Why is From Software such a standout combat-wise? Well, most of these melee action games, like, there's no spacing in them. Like, you know, you attack something and then the tracking will do all the work for you. From Software still has, you know, a lock-on system. But the lock-on will not do all the work for you. Like, there's no, like, the distance, like, you know, if you gauge the distance properly, you'll land your hit. If you don't gauge the distance properly, you're not gonna land a hit. And even, like, for certain attacks, like, it's not gonna automatically track from side to side either. Whereas this is where Mortal Shell, like, falls apart. It automatically tracks everything from side to side. And so that doesn't really work well either. And so when you compare, like when you ask yourself, well, you know, you criticize FromSoft so much. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like FromSoft is still the best at it. There's no doubt about it. Like you look at all these games out there, FromSoft is a standout amongst melee action games for sure. Like no one really comes close to it, in my opinion, at least yet. Hopefully it happens in the future. It's not like I'm just a FromSoft fanboy, just, you know, rooting rooting from Software to always be the best. No. Like ultimately we want other studios and other devs to ultimately get there, so we have like other games to choose from, and we have the genre that evolves. Because as the I think it was the No Rest for the Wicked game designer said correctly, the From Software like genre, or the game design for From Software game, has stagnated a lot, you know, over years. Like they stumble upon something like the formula and everything, and they have not really diverged all that much. They, you know, a little bit here and there, but for the most part it has stayed very stagnant, especially on the PvP side. And so like you want other studios to get it, so that, you know, innovation can start to happen a little bit, because innovation in the video game world is extremely slow because games take forever to make. Hopefully though, like AI speeds up the process a little bit. I know like people are worried about AI slop, but I mean, for the most part, like what will happen is like, yeah, sure, I'm sure we're gonna see like some like disgusting like bad art and like bad direction, because like you kind of democratize video game making to people that are just bad at everything. And so like that's not gonna make a good game. But you know, when you're talking about like programmers being able to program more and faster, like you're, as a player, you're not gonna see, you know, any downside for the end product, really. You know what I mean? Like it depends on how it's used. No Rest for the Wicked has solid combat. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try it at some point, because like I listened to a lot of interviews from the lead designer for that game, and it's like one of the few person that I've listened to in the video game world that actually has a clue about what he's saying. Like the guy is genuinely like understands what's going on, whereas I can't really say the same with any other devs. Like, you know, all these other devs, like they're good at what they do, but as far as design is concerned, as far as understanding gameplay, like most of them don't get it. It's just the way it is, and we see it. Like we see it when you play these God of War, these Assassin's Creed, you know, like all these melee action games that just, they all like feel so much worse than any From Software game. Like, you know, so it's not just a matter of opinion. Like you see the result of it when you play these games. But the way I look at it is like, you know, with AI becoming so powerful, at least it's gonna democratize game making for people like me, you know, like people that actually do have a clue, that understand how shit works. You know, maybe like there's gonna be more people like myself who are gonna, you know, take it upon themselves to make it better than what's already out there. Yo, White, tank that? That's crazy. Do you like For Honor? I actually, when For Honor came out, I felt like For Honor was such a nice concept. And I played For Honor for the first month of release. I played For Honor competitively for the first month of release. I won 5 Major League Gaming tournaments on For Honor. And I dropped the game afterward because I felt like no progress was made and the game was dying out. And so I left the boat like early on. The game apparently did, you know, like the game did get a turnaround from what I've heard. Like, you know, like For Honor went from you know, having a lot of balance issues to apparently, like from the people I've spoken to, it's a lot better now. So, you know, props on them for innovating with like a new like combat system that works, that takes skills. Always felt like For Honor was a very good concept and had very good ideas for combat, and a lot of them were executed well, at least when I played it. It's just that from my point of view, like back then, I could see For Honor being one of those games like going nowhere and disappearing, which did not happen. I was wrong. The devs supported it, they made it better, and now like people still play it and enjoy it. So very happy about the development of For Honor, although like I've been out of the loop for too long. I wouldn't really be compelled to like come back to For Honor like, you know, a bunch of years later. That would be a little pointless. But yeah, that's what I think about For Honor. What about Chivalry 2? It has fun combat. Dude, I've never played Chivalry 2, but very often I'll watch these vids about it, and I'm very intrigued by it. I'm sure that I would enjoy it, but to me, like, games like that, like, when I watch Chivalry 2, I'm like, okay, like, you know, the people that make this definitely, like, seem to have a clue. They make skillful combat, and I'm sure this would actually be a lot of fun to play. But, you know, I'm not the right person to say if it's good or bad because I've never actually played it. But it does look very interesting, unlike, you know, like the God of War or Assassin's Creed or whatever you want to pick for your AAA slop game. Like, you know, unlike them, like, I can definitely see, like, the appeal for the combat in, like, a Chivalry and a For Honor. Like, it's not like I'm hating on every game that's not a Souls game, you know? Like, I definitely appreciate and recognize good combat when I see it. Like, you know, the Fatekeeper. Fatekeeper is another one. Like, Fatekeeper does things very simple. It's an extremely simplified combat, but it works. It still works. He only likes Elden Ring? Yeah, sure. Like For Honor, but you hate how everybody treats every game mode as a 1v1. Back when I played, like, the competitive scene for Honor was mostly in the 2v2s. Like, competitive stuff was, like, in 2v2 matches. Because the 1v1 was too much dictated by which class you picked. Like, because, you know, it was, like, when the game came out, it was really, like, counter picks. Or, like some classes were just, like, way better than others. By the way, like, my friend and I, we were the first to discover Shoguki. Forgot the name of the character. Shoguki, like, unlock, like, mix up, like, just you run over people or you, like, sort of grab them. Like, we were, like, the first to discover that. Like, the video is out there on YouTube. It's on my French channel. We made that vid about the unlock tech, like, day 2 of the game releasing. So I was actually, like, the person who found that shit the first. Like, you know, no one will ever know that in the For Honor community, but pretty sure it's been patched also. But just to show, like, how, you know, the moment I touch a game, like, I leave a mark on it, guys. It's just how it is. And no one will ever really know about that. No, I never played Dark Messiah. The netcode was dog-ass? Yeah, when the game came out, it definitely was bad. I agree with you. But apparently they improved it a lot afterward. Dude, where is that? That's such a strange spawn. Oh! This guy's connection is garbage. He can force trades, but he just doesn't know it. Wow, dude. Okay, you shit player. What the fuck, dude? Dumb fuck. Fuck out of here. I don't understand why these people snipe and then they heal. Like, you know, they snipe for a duel and then they just fucking midway through they're like, oh, you know, this is not the snipe I want. Like, don't snipe. You know? That's all there is to it. Same reason they choose Infinite Grass Arena? Yeah, I mean. Okay, we got another one of these spawns that I'm not too sure about. Okay, no, never mind. Thought it was somewhere else. We're actually very close. Was running through the game, G? Yeah, he was not sniping, you know? Like, he's gonna come in chat here and say, like, I was not sniping. You know, like they always do. I was not sniping. Well, why are you here then? I missed my jump. I don't want that. Oh, that was the host. There you go, guys. I was not sniping, but I mean, I'm sure this guy is just, you know, he's just being funny. I don't think it was that guy. It feels criminal that the only viable way to make those fists work is to override the unique heavy attack. I mean, you're sort of right. I would not say that it's, like, absolutely necessary, but it's the best course of action. Like, the best way to make these fists is indeed to override the unique aspect. You're right. He's doing good damage with his perfume bottle. But yeah, the benefit for going like Golem Fist over Star Fist is with this particular setup, like if you're gonna go Barbaric Roar, Golem Fist are actually more optimal than Star Fist. Because they do more AR, like they do more damage than Star Fist. Like Star Fist are usually better than Golem Fists because like you can put an ash on it that is not barbaric roar, but if you're gonna put barbaric roar, golem fists are better. Like, you know, there's a good like 30 AR difference between like Star Fist and Golem Fist. Like 30 AR might not seem like much, but given how it's a weapon that usually hits twice, it's it can make a significant damage difference depending on the attack you're doing, and obviously also if you're buffing too. Since there's a full squad here, but it's that one map where we could be running around for a while. Right here. See here, I don't think I'm going the right way, but like I'm not certain. Always think there's an elevator there. We're gonna run around a little bit until okay, like until right now. Okay. Come on. It's not what I wanted. We have nowhere to go here. We need some PvE help. I don't think there's anything up there. They're so thirsty. All right. This guy is light rolling, I think. Yeah, I think that might be it for me. I didn't think the other guys were following. That's unfortunate. If we separate any of them, we shit on them, but I thought we had a moment with the one phantom that was chasing us. Very unfortunate. I hate dying to garbage players like that. But we had like nowhere to go really, unfortunately. He killed most of the PvE as well. I don't know, because technically, like, there's not a lot of PvE in there. I mean, they are ganking. Okay, we have a scorpion here. Like, they are ganking. Because we reinvade them right away. That means they have the tongue active. Problem is, like, once we reach them, I don't really know the map that well either. Like, we were here when we spawned the first time, but we had to respawn to reach them. This is where I actually spawned. That's the issue here. Like, when we respawn next to them, we're gonna be fucked still, because we don't really have a play unless we have, like, some PvE to work with. I think this is the... No, it's not. Is it the same spawn? I think it's the same spawn. You have the knight, you can fall back there. Well, I mean, it's kind of pointless because they're nowhere near where we are. Like, we can't reach them. Even if the knight is there, there's no way we're gonna reach it. Yeah, they're just ganking, like, sitting here. And then once we spawn, they just chase us. And we have, like, nowhere to go, really. You need to find, like, a way to go somewhere. Okay, what about this door here? Is there anything beyond this? No, there's nothing. It's all nothing. I'm gonna have to fight all of them. 3v1. Probably gonna have to rebuff before I get there. I don't even know where they went. Okay, they went this way, never mind. Getting closer. This is a problem. And all the shit players go down. Fuck out of here. That moment when you were pressuring 3 players with one moveset, yeah. I mean, Pada is one of the few weapons that can do it, but there's like not many weapons that can win a 1v3. I think we saw this host last time. I think this host is chill. Yeah. I think we're gonna leave him be. I don't want to kill his phantom, but... Oh, he actually wanted to fight. Well, that's my fault. As we invaded him like last stream, this particular guy, I think, and he never ganked us while we were fighting his friends, so I was like, maybe he wants me to just leave them be, but I think he wanted to fight actually. Zaki's in chat and he writes down everything that needs fixing. Yep, exactly. Where is this? not where this leads. How many players? 2 players. We might have to respawn here. Could be an AFK farming spot too. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I mean... Can't even go there. What about this door? Like, which one is this? Like, you fall down here? Wait, they're down here. Maybe we can go down. Let's try. Am I in the boss arena? I think they already killed it. No way, bro! No hell! Bro, it's getting killed by 2 of these. There's no way. That's crazy, bro. That's 600 HP moment. And what about the lock on? Like, locking on like that high is crazy. I might actually regret if I go up. Yeah. Oh. Oh, he's fighting something. Maybe we can go up. You know, I'm going up here, but technically the right play here is to not go up. Although right now we're safe. The host is not close. 'Cause every time you go up a ladder, you're kind of accepting defeat in this game. 'Cause people can just wait for you at the top and guarantee kill you off the ladder. I don't think there's other ways. Wait, what? Oh, over here. We might get fog walled. Snake eater ladder. Okay. We might actually get fog walled. Yep. I knew it, dude. Oh boy. It is what it is. That's what you get for killing poor co-opper? Yeah, it's karma. You decided to buy a Switch too? Castle, were you there when Gabri... Dude, Castle, Gabri showed up on stream, like, a few streams ago. And, he just straight up, like, donated, like, 500 USD to buy, like, a Switch 2 specifically. Oh, it's this idiot. And so, you know, I actually got one for Duskblood at Castle. So Castle, we're gonna be playing together on fucking Switch 2, man. That's crazy. I mean, it's gonna be fun if it's you, me, and Gabri. Like, I don't care how bad the game is. I'm sure we're gonna have fun for at least a week. Are there any other good games to play on Switch 2? Honestly, I have no idea. I think my girlfriend will probably want to try the Zelda games, I think. I mean, they look good. I don't think I would play it, but they look good. To be fair, though, I would not have purchased a Switch 2 for Duskblood if it, you know, if it wasn't for the opportunity Gabri gave us. Like, you know, Gabri pretty much paid for it, so... I mean... I'm just very grateful for that. Because, again, I would not have done it if it wasn't for that, but... That's very kind of him. Because it's hard to justify spending that much money for one game. Even, you know, even if you're gonna make money out of it, aka, you know, like making content for Duskblood. Even if I'm gonna make content, the problem with Duskblood is that we don't know if it's gonna be, like, lasting. Like, we don't know if it's gonna be, like a 1 week thing where, you know, we play the game and it's just not it. Or like the Switch 2 is like 30 FPS and the online is super laggy, so even if the game is good, it's like unplayable. Like, we don't know about that. And if that's the case, like, there's a good chance that everyone's gonna leave after like a week or a month. And then if that happens, then you don't want to be like stuck with a Switch 2, basically. I guess you could still sell it. I guess I could have bought one and like sold it if Duskblood was bad. Or if the connections were unplayable. You play Valor Mortis? Nope, I don't know what that game is. You're trying to get into the network test? How do you get into the network test, Castle? Like, guys, everyone in chat, do we know if it's been announced already, like, how to get in the network test? I don't think they announced it yet, right? Players. Yo, Chilling, how you doing, man? Oh yeah, these guys. Guess they're gonna be sitting here all day, I guess. Gotta send an email to a Nintendo team you saw online? Really? No way, you gotta personally send them an email? You serious? That's a little crazy. You haven't heard anything about it? You wonder if it's limited to creators? Maybe it is. Hard to tell. Please, Nintendo, let me beta test the new game. Alright, I'll copy paste your message. Do you mind? That's what Google AI told you? That's crazy, Castle. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I love Mario. Please send me a code, bro. That's crazy work. I love Mario. Please send me a copy of the network test code. Oh, man. Fucking Castle, dude. I love Mario, please. Bro. That's crazy. I'm a 7-year-old and my dream is to test this game. Oh man, that is funny. I'm only 7 years old and it's my dream to test this. And Story of Gankers, outplayed and saved. Waiting for his friend, doesn't want to commit. They're so dog shit, like, you know they would get deleted in a second if they're by themselves, but they're so fucking bad. Like, they literally just lick each other's asshole, like, constantly. Like, I don't know if I should, like, feel bad about these people, because clearly, like, like, you have to have, like, some sort of issue, like, to have fun doing that. Like, there's no way a normal person would spend, like, so much time of their life doing that. Because, it's not the first time. Like, they're there, like, so often. And for the whole stream, like, they wait there the whole time. And so, like, either, like, it's just, like, children and, shouldn't think much of it because, thing with children is that you can't like hold it against children because their brain isn't fully developed yet. But if it's an adult, like, you know, I don't know if I should feel bad because, you know, like some people just legitimately have like mental problems and they have like different ways of coping. Maybe that's one of these cases, I don't know. Yo, Soda, how you doing, man? How many players in there? Oh, he's just by himself. Everybody, let's do this. I'm gonna take a ton of damage, though. Definitely don't like that for a 1v1. Oh, we tier skipped him. That co-opper needed 92 endurance with light roll for their setup. Yeah. I mean, the thing about people like that is I actually have a fighting chance, you know, like if it was like players that were like you know, good at the game, like I wouldn't really stand a chance, not the way they're playing, but because they're not good, like, you know, you try it because you actually have a chance. Like, the host was close to dying like twice throughout this whole thing. Obviously, we didn't manage to finish him. It's always difficult to finish these players, but as you know, like, you have the overleveled boyfriend over here, like, they can 2 or 3 shot you with range attacks. Those games are played by children, to be fair. Yeah, that's why, like, you know, the thing is, like, the reason why I assume that they're not kids is that, like, we've dealt with people like that in the past with Dark Souls 3. And surprisingly, like, none of the crazy people in Dark Souls 3 were kids. Like, it was like a bunch of adults that legitimately, like, had mental issues. And there was a lot of them. I think even children would get bored of ganking. I mean, it depends. Like, think of, like, let's say a poor kid who had, like, bad grade at school, constantly getting bullied, you know, like, bad at everything. Maybe that's, like, their salvation or something. Like, it's the only way they can do something. Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. I have no idea. Like, there's no way for me to guess. Like, I don't understand, like, that mindset. Oh, a dragon. Oh, nice.
Hey.
All right, let's do this. Thank you, Elden Ring Lock-On. I actually confused that with another spell. Compelling ass gameplay. You guys are just being a bunch of meanies. These are honorable gankers. They're doing the right thing, protecting the PvEers. All these invaders are doing is ruining my playthrough. You had a buddy that would send the most unhinged hate mail when you played NHL or COD? Yeah, honestly, me too, dude. Like, I had friends like that. Dude, I I had a friend, Soda. I don't know if you remember Cloud9, Soda, but fucking back when like the first Division game came out, like the Division beta, the first one. Like I'd play with Cloud9 and we would sit there in the beta just like destroying everyone. And Cloud was like, he was talking so much shit. There was proximity chat in that game. And he was talking like so much shit to everyone we came across while we were killing them. We were basically like bullying the whole lobby. And that shit was just so funny though. Like sometimes like I wonder if like, you know, the gankers like somehow like find that same type of fun. Although to be fair, like back when we played the Division, it's not like we were in an advantage. We were playing against the whole lobby. So technically speaking, like it was still challenging, like, gameplay-wise. But the whole shit-talking was, like, on another level. I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, to be fair, the shit-talking was, like, you know... It was not just, like, mom jokes. It's, like, I don't even know if I should repeat it. I probably shouldn't. I'm gonna skip this one. I mean, it's definitely not, like, politically correct. Far from it. Oh, man. Different times? I don't even know if it's different times, because even back then that was a little much. My trash talking was not like, you know, I've never been like a like a big trash talker like compared to some of the people I played with. It's funny because today's standard, like the Elden Ring standard, like, you know, like people like know me as like, oh, the toxic guy around Elden Ring. It's like, dude, you guys knew like the people we were around like back then, like you guys would be like, what the fuck is this? Yo, Soda, thanks for the prime for 4 months, man. L trigger these nuts, you too, dude. I swear to God. So though you were not like a big shit talker though, like you never really gave shit to people for no reason. Unlike like you know, some of these other guys that really gave shit to others for no fucking reason. You did, just not on Vegas? Okay, yeah, that's fair. But from what I remember, like I don't know, I felt like you were always fair with your shit talk. Like it never came out of nowhere, whereas like, you know, I can't say the same for everyone. Used to message people on COD? Okay. That's funny, man. What the fuck? Why shit talk, man? To be honest, like when you're doing something competitive, like, I don't know, maybe it's like a different culture, but I think everyone enjoyed a little shit talk back then. Like, I think we all did. But the thing is, like, you'd shit talk another player and then, you know, like a week later you'd be like playing for their team anyway, and like everything would be cool. So it wasn't like, it was never really anything like personal. It was just like shit talk to shit talk. Like it was never actually like a big deal. Like at the end of the day, like people were just like having fun and being competitive and adding a little extra to it. You shit talk is the purpose to get in your head? Yeah, pretty much. Like, to throw off your game. I mean, Treason used to do that all the time. Like, Treason used to try to get into people's head. Like, you would try to find that one point to, like, make them insecure or something when he wanted to win. Oh, man, that shit was funny. I mean, same with King. And then, you know, there was the good guys, like Confusion. Confusion always, like, being good guy. That's how we ended up on the same team. Yes, Soda! That's actually so true, dude. That's so true, actually. That's funny. How many players in there? Full squad. Yeah, it's gonna be another case of these moment where we can't get to the host. Okay, well. You and Treason playing duo wasn't fair. You pissed off the other team so much. It was so funny. But the thing is, like, Treason, like, was super smart. Like, he knew, like, what to say without, like, he didn't need to, like, make, like, he didn't mean to, like, make it sound insulting. Like, it would be, like, targeted passive-aggressive, like, on purpose. Always felt like Treason was one of the smarter guy I met on Vegas. It's so funny how he didn't believe in dinosaurs, though. Like, I always found it strange that someone so intelligent didn't believe in dinosaurs. I don't know why. I always thought, I was like, dude, like, why do you not believe in dinosaurs? Like, what is this? Oh man, some people just have their pet peeve or something. Yeah, you remember Soda, right? Like, you know, like, Tree was, like, super smart, but when it came to dinosaurs, it's like, you know, like, he had a whole fucking conspiracy about it. That shit was so funny. Sometimes I wonder if he was trolling us. I don't think he was, though. Men said people only believe in dinosaurs because of Jurassic Park. I don't remember that one, but that shit's so funny, man. Oh my fucking god, bro. What the fuck? It's so stupid, man. I mean, that was so much fun, though. Holy shit. Evangelists do not believe in dinosaurs. Yeah, I think that was the case, Dress, honestly. That's probably what it was. But that was still funny, man. Soda, that is so funny, man. I could see it. Like, I could see Treason, like, being, like, you know, like, he's so, like, deep down he knows, but he doesn't want, like, he's too deep in it now. Like, he doesn't want to accept it. Oh, man. I hope he's doing well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. You know what? I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna fight him first. I feel like I'm gonna get spell spam while I'm fighting. Too risky. Yeah, let's do that first. I love how he tried to fight me, and then once he missed his shot, he just gave up. But yeah, what was crazy about our friend Treason is that like the dude was legitimately like super super smart. That's the thing. Like his understanding of human psychology was very, very good. I mean, what's funny is like the guy like in real life worked with mental patients. So like that's a very difficult job, guys. Like seriously, like the way you see like humankind. I mean, to be honest, I sort of do the same thing, right? Like working with mental patients. You know, like playing Elden Ring is sort of like similar, to be fair. It's just that, you know, I'm not like endangered because you don't have to like interact like in real life. But, you know, sometimes you never know. I King definitely did that shit, man. Literally came back to Vegas playing with no headset, and he had like one good round. Oh wait. He had one good round, and messaged everyone on the other team and told them they suck. And he's playing with no hands. I mean, that's just funny though. Man, I had a lot of fun with Vegas. Honestly, that's probably the game I had the most fun with. Like, looking back at, like, every game I played for years. Because, you know, I played Vegas for, like, 8 years or 9 years or so. And played Dark Souls 3 for a long time as well. Then Elden Ring. But Elden Ring, I don't think it counts. Because Elden Ring is really just for the channel and, you know, keeping the revenue from the part-time job. Like, it's not like... Like, these other games, I actually really enjoyed myself. Elden Ring really... You know, Elden Ring is like in a weird spot where I'd probably leave the game if I had like an opportunity to keep the channel like frozen in time until the next game. Vegas 2 had the best community because it was full of toxic assholes, but for the most part, you could hate each other in a game battles and then go play with those guys against... yeah, you could play with those guys like against others and none of it really mattered. Yeah, pretty much. Like you could talk shit one day and then play with that same person the other day and no one would care, and like it was all like love and laughs once you won the match at the end of the game. That's pretty much it. Also, there was a lot of like it was really like, when I look at it now, like there's not that many games I don't think that had so much of a like an alt account culture, you know, like with ringer accounts like playing for different teams. Like it was like such a thing in Rainbow Six that like you basically played for almost every team. It's like every team had ringer accounts where like anyone could play on it, just to set, like people just wanted to play. Okay, this spot here. Favorite part was the dude who kept calling you fat, then got into an argument with his brother, and his brother played us and was like, wait, he called you fat? Dude is like 450 pounds. He started going into his real life and started shitting on him. It was funny. And the next match, we matched the brother and he was embarrassed. And then you started using the shit against him. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, now people have halts to like hide themselves. Like, but before it was not like to hide yourself. Like, people would openly say like, oh, you know, X or Y player is playing on this account. Because it was just for the purpose of like registering for another team. Like today, like people play on alt accounts just to hide their identity. Like, it's a little different. 8 players in there, 2 players. Alright. Little frame drops though. I don't think we have time. Man, the frame drops are actually quite high. Okay, well, we got him anyway. Oh, we did not even trade that. And these fists do a lot of damage, like, overall. You had so many accounts. Used to make Gunclaps buy you Xbox membership to play with his ringers. That's crazy. But it doesn't surprise me though. It's such a shame. Like, I really feel like the whole like tactical shooter genre, like, to me, has kind of disappeared over time. Like, the only like real game left that's like really a tactical shooter in my book is like Counter-Strike, and I mean, you know, it's not a new game. Like, you know, they have not made like any SOCOM, like the Rainbow Six Siege is like full of gimmicks. Like, we've gotten away a lot from the tried and true like tactical shooter genre. Guess I really cannot hit walls. It bounces off every time. SOCOM, bro, dude, SOCOM, the last one was not so nice, but I mean, the ones before that, like, I don't know what they did with the last one. It was like so out of place compared to the others. You don't even bother to play PvP anymore. I feel that. To be honest, Soda, I think it would be in the exact same boat if it wasn't for like keeping the channel active, which, you know, like, I worked the channel up to this point and it took so much work to get there. And even though it doesn't really pay all that much, at least for the amount of effort I have to put, aka, you know, like, you spend like 1 day per week like editing, and then, you know, like a few days a week like doing like some 3-hour streams or so, and getting paid like part-time wages to do that. Like, the risk reward like makes a lot of sense, and so stopping that, I think, would be really a waste. But, you know, if it wasn't for that, like, if I was to get, let's say, some sort of engineering job tomorrow, like, would I leave everything behind? Probably. You put in the effort with the channel, there's no reason to throw it away. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't want it to go to waste. Like Steel, who's there in chat right now, like, Steel, like, had built up his brand and his channel and his audience back in Dark Souls 2, and basically left back in Dark Souls 3, and he basically had to start over with Elden Ring. Like, he had lost like most of the audience that he had back then, and basically had to start from scratch. Like, it's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of work to rebuild like that. And people think that, you know, like, YouTube's easy and everything. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say that YouTube is hard compared to fucking, I don't know, like, mining fucking minerals, like, by hand, or I don't fucking know, like, there's a bunch of jobs that are very difficult, but, like, it's not easy in a sense that you can't just magically, like, generate revenue on these platforms. Like, it's still a lot of work. Like, you know, like, I've been uploading for years now. I've not missed a single upload in like 6 or 5 years. You know, like, uploading daily. Let me read a bit of chat. People's taste change, and for tactical shooters to be interesting, you need gimmicks. I don't think so. I think they never came out with tactical shooters after that. Like, I don't think it's true, because you look at a game like Counter-Strike, who's like super old, and it never got a replacement, and it still has a crazy audience, and Counter-Strike is like the last like actual tactical shooter left. They never really came out with like a comparable AAA like tactical shooter like after really after Vegas 2. Like, to me, like Vegas 2 was really the last one. Like, after that, like a lot of the games were mostly like gimmick shooters. And don't get me wrong, gimmick shooters doesn't necessarily mean bad. Like, I never played Fortnite, but when I look at Fortnite, it looks to me like the gameplay is very interesting and skillful. And so the building gimmick, I think, makes a lot of sense from a gameplay point of view, right? It's just not, like, you know, not necessarily like what people that are into tactical shooters are looking for. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that tactical shooters would be more popular than, you know, the arcade-style Call of Duty games, right? That's not what I'm saying. It's just that there is definitely a niche and a demand for that niche, and that niche just has not been satiated over the years. Like, if, let's say, for instance, let's pretend like Sony grows a brain, right? Sony grows a brain, like, magically, and they come out with a new SOCOM game, a third-person shooter tactical game, with like minimal gimmick that's like up to date on most levels. Do you really think it's gonna fail? Nah, people are gonna be all over that thing. Like a hardcore, like true to the genre, like tactical shooter in this day and age, people would jump over this, especially with the name of the franchise, like crazy. It would be like some sort of revival. I almost guarantee you that's what would happen. But, you know, the problem is, like, the people in charge of these, you know, big companies, these executives, they're not gamers, they're clueless, they never played any of those franchises. Like, they only look at, like, you know, spreadsheets and market data and analysis, and they can't find the canary in the mine or in the coal mine. There just isn't any creativity these days when it comes to games. It's all just jumble bullshit from other games, mix and match, hoping they figure it out. Yeah, like the whole High Guard thing was like a perfect example of that. Like, I look at a game like High Guard and I'm like, what were they thinking? Like, like on paper, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't really appeal to anyone. Like, it failed massively. You could see it from a mile away. Like, it's so strange to me how there's so little, I don't know, brain cells that goes into like judging if a project makes sense. Like, stuff like that. Like, you ask like any player that plays shooting games that's not like a, you know, a brain-rotted casual, or, you know, some of these brain-rotted kids out there, like, they'll tell you right away, like, you know, like, that's not it. Like, this is not gonna be successful. Like, anyone could see it coming from a mile away, and yet somehow they still don't see it. It's very hard to understand. I'm not saying that we would see, like, we would be able to predict the outcome for every game, right? Like, not for every game, but a lot of it, you can see it from a mile, though. Tactical gameplay is hard to make, yes. And honestly, like, it's hard to make, and even, like, today, like, because I have not played, like, shooting games in such a long time, like, even I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, what exactly they need to do to make it right, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, you ask me that same question for Souls games, like, I'd be able to tell you exactly everything that's wrong and how to make it right, because, like, I'm still, like, baiting in it, right? I'm a little late on chat. One sec. Okay, there you go. Like, 3 type arena shooters are the best, but people are too trash to learn them. Sometimes, you know, there's like hidden gems, like PvP wise, that never get any traction because of multiple reasons. Like, I'm thinking of like Armored Core Verdict Day, right? The genre is just too niche. Like, mech games and robots, that appeals to weebs, and there's just, you know, like, like weeb and people that are into big robots, like sure, that's like a niche, and there's a place for that audience. Like that niche is always gonna buy like the good mecha games or whatever. But when you start to break up that niche into another niche, like, okay, people that are into that weeb mecha stuff, that are also, like, competitive players, that's a very small portion of players. And that's what happened with, like, Armored Core Verdict Day. Like, that game was, like, honestly, that game was esports ready. Like, so skillful, so tactical, so much teamwork that went into that game, so much skill. It was just... to me, like, it's the highest, like, skill level game that I've played. Out of any game I've played. And, you know, I wasn't the best at it. Like, I've been better at other games than Armored Core Verdict Day. But I can confidently say that the skill level for that game was crazy high. Like, basically, the better player would always win in a 1v1. That's how, like, skillful it was. And it was very enjoyable, too. And... team chemistry mattered more than individual skill on top of that. Like, it was really, like, holding the battle line, focus fire, like, communication, like, taking cover. It had all of it. Like, it was really good. Really, really good. But it didn't matter how good the PvP was, you know, it was still a minuscule niche that never had a chance to ever really take off. And so these games do exist, and also, like, I've never played it, but I've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen it, like, you could probably, like, type on YouTube, like, Warframe, like, PvP tournament. Like, I've seen some footage of, like, Warframe, like, 1v1, where people, like, jump all over the map, and it looks so fucking skillful. But stuff like that never took off. Although, to be fair, I don't actually know if it's good or not, because I never tried it. But, like, stuff like that, it's super niche, but it looks, like, so skillful and so cool. But, you know, it was never, like, marketed toward, like, being a competitive game or anything. And, again, like, it's still the niche of the, you know, the weeb ninja stuff. And then you have the competitive niche, like, on top of that. Warframe PvP feels very bad. Well, there you go. I never played it, so I wouldn't know. It's just from what I've seen. You have many hours into that game? No, I'll just take your word for it. Yo, Marcus, thank you so much for the resub for 75 months, dude. Marcus has been here for so fucking long, dude. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate, Marcus, you still being here. You don't understand why people like Valorant, especially the art style. I think, you know, after Overwatch and Fortnite, like, that art style is just, like, very popular. Like, a lot of games try to emulate it. And, you know, when Fortnite came out and when Overwatch came out, like, that art style was a standout because it was, like, it was pretty rare at that time. Like, it was sort of like a new, like, stylized visual, and people thought it was good looking. But now it's I feel like it's probably overused. To be fair, there's legitimate, like, development benefit to adopting that art style. Like, it's easier to make games look good and have less polygons, so aka, like, you can make your games run better with that sort of art style. So, like, there are some technical advantages to doing that. It's not just... also, like, you know, because the style is very, like, cartoonish, you don't have, like, issues of players blending in the environment, like, depending on what type of gameplay you're going for. Like, for instance, a Call of Duty. It's very easy in Call of Duty for a player, like, that's standing still to blend in the environment. It's very different for these, like, cartoony, more cartoony style games to see everyone no matter where they are, right? So, like, there are some legitimate, like, gameplay implications to that are very significant. But I completely get the whole, like, people are tired of that sort of art style, and that's, you know, that's perfectly normal. How do you guys feel about the new Bungie game, Marathon? I never really paid too much attention to it. Quite frankly, I don't really like the art style for it, but you know, I don't really know much about it, so it's hard for me to have a strong opinion on it. I haven't played a Bungie game since Halo. When Destiny came out, like, you know, I had some fun with it, but it was never like that good to me. Like Destiny was like a game I played like a significant amount, and I would never hold that game to the same standards as some of these other games that I've played over the years that I really enjoy. And a lot of people really like Destiny. And it wasn't a bad game, you know? It's just not that good. Bungie hasn't brought anything new to gaming since Halo 2, in your opinion? People can like the story, but it's not your cup of tea. You like how Destiny looked? Yeah, the look of Destiny, the first one at least. I don't know about the second one. I don't really know what it looked like, but it was definitely like very good looking for when it came out. And like the art style was very interesting. The monsters and like the enemies were very interesting. Latency. What do you have hiding in the bushes like that? I'm out of stam to follow up. I love how he's hiding in the bushes and just chugging along. Bush PvP, yeah. You heard Bungie just laid off a bunch of staff? Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing with a lot of these studios, right? Like, maybe, like, back in the days, like, X or Y studio was amazing, but, like, none of the people who make the games you guys like, or that we like, are there anymore. Like, it's basically the same old house with a different owner. And you actually happen to like the owner, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you're... like, it's never gonna be good again. Like, the people don't work there anymore. It's not even the same folks. Like, there's actually nothing that's similar to what was once made, except for the brand name. Like, I think another good example of that is Obsidian. Like, you know, Obsidian making, like, a lot of iconic RPGs, like the... you know, the Fallout New Vegas, you know? Like, people remember so fondly Fallout New Vegas, like... I don't think really any of the people that worked on that are there anymore, you know? So it's very hard to have expectations for these amazing studios anymore. Or once was amazing studio. I don't know, I still have hope for games though, because the indie scene is becoming more and more prevalent. And even though most indie games are made by Redditors that don't understand what the fuck they're doing, there's still some indie games out there. Like Fatekeeper. I love bringing Fatekeeper because I actually enjoyed that game so much. And it was not like... it was very simple gameplay-wise, but it just clicked and it worked. And it did a lot of things right. And so, like, games like that, to me, like, you have a Fatekeeper that sold well, you know, like, very small scope. Now the devs are gonna have the budget to expand on what they already built. And from there, the studio is gonna become, like, bigger, and they're gonna be able to make their Fatekeeper franchise, like, into a full-fledged, like, AAA type game, really. And stuff like that, to me, is hopeful. Like, even if some of the old good studios are just not good anymore. Like, I'm still hopeful because of Games like Fate Keeper. And also, like, to be fair, the Japanese studios, you know, I might not like all of the Japanese games, but they're still somewhat true to what they've always been doing for the most part. Like, you guys have been talking about Capcom, you know, FromSoft, obviously. Like, they always come out with games that are sort of what they've always been doing without really diverging all that much. But, like, what sucks is, like, studios like Ubisoft, who used to be, like, you know, Ubisoft games used to be, like, the gold standard. Like, I know it's gonna be hard to believe for some of you guys who were not then, like, there back then, but, like, you used to watch, like, E3, and you'd wait, like, for the Ubisoft portion of the event, because they had all the best games. I mean, that's just not the case anymore, obviously. And it might never be the case again, but it's just a shame that it ended up being that. Like, you know, like Ubisoft used to have, like, you know, the Rainbow Six games, the Prince of Persia, you know, the Splinter Cell. You know, it's just, they had all the good shooters. Even some of the old arcadey game, like the Rayman franchise back then, was pretty good as well. I don't know about now anymore. Yo! You spawn into dying? What the hell? Most people don't know what they want. Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. I agree with that fully. Yeah, most people don't actually know what they want. Alright, Kevin, it's your turn. Kevin is just giving up. Alright. Ubisoft, Bungie, Rockstar, EA, they all went downhill. Well, Rockstar, not yet. You know, I mean, you're gonna be able to say that whenever GTA 6 comes out, I think. I know, like, it's... We talked about this earlier, like, people, like, just now, because, like, big content creators are talking about this, how GTA 6 might be bad. Like, I've been saying that for years, ever since I saw that article that the lead writer and founder of Rockstar, or co-founder of Rockstar, ever since that guy left the studio, like, the guy was the writer behind all the fucking Rockstar games. Like, there's no way it's gonna be good without him. He's the reason why all these games have good stories. Like, people that expect it otherwise are crazy. Like, the guy was the reason why all these GTA games were so good. Like, it's gonna be, like, even though, like, I'm sure GTA 6 is gonna be, like, a technological marvel. It's probably gonna have, like, better gameplay than the previous GTA games. It's probably gonna have, like, better everything except, you know, the characters, the story, and the reason you basically played it. And so, you know, it might feel like an empty shell. Now, the only argument that I think you can still have is like, okay, well, maybe if the gameplay is better, it's gonna be like enough of a reason to be interested in the game. I think that's a valid point. Like, you can definitely play bad story games and still enjoy the game for other reasons. You can absolutely do that. Oh, we hit both. That's a very good shot. like I might get parried, so I'm gonna be careful. Whoa! But like, people play the Rockstar games for different reason, you know? Like, I never liked the online for the GTA games. I always thought it was like some of the most like brain dead waste of time you can possibly have. But you know, people play MMOs in diapers and shit, so I mean, there's gonna be a crowd for everything. But like, the story and the characters and the single player for all the Rockstar games have always been amazing. And so, you know, knowing that the writer is not going to be there anymore, like, to me, it kind of... it kills any anticipation I have for GTA 6. Two players in there. Oh, it's these guys. Have to pay extra money to get access to everything in the game. Like, certain shops are closed otherwise. Yeah, I saw that. It's honestly, like, I know it's gonna be crazy, but I think it would have been better received if they just had the game not have the paid shops and just had the starting price be $100 instead. I feel like it would have been better received if they just did that. Like, just scrap the whole standard version altogether for $80 and just give everyone everything from the get-go. And just charge, you know, the full price, you know? Oh, it's the guy that's, pretending to duel. Well played. Just pirate it. What's funny is actually, like, Rockstar are usually the hardest game to pirate. Like, I remember, like, it took like a year for pirates to actually pirate, like, Red Dead Redemption 2. They were not able to for like a year. I don't think we've ever seen that before. Like, unironically, like, Rockstar games are, like, apparently super hard to crack. I think that's funny. That's what devs should do, though. Like, yeah, perfectly fair to, like, spend a lot of resource so your game can't be pirated. One year is very short for pirating a game? I don't think so, man. Like, I've seen games, like, have a pirated version come out, like a few days after launch. Like, I've never seen anything more than 1 year. But guys, be careful, man, with, like, getting these pirated stuff. Like, we're not in the same day and age anymore. Like, malware is, like, is legit, like, dangerously sneaky now. Like, you're like, with AI, you're really taking a massive risk when it comes to, like, downloading illicit stuff. It's not like a few years ago, guys. Like, you know, be careful. Malware can hide in your BIOS forever now? Yeah. Like, it's quite nasty now. Like, you want to be careful in what you get. Wiping out Windows won't fix it. Man, there's some stuff that's nasty, honestly. You heard that pirating is a small concern from Valve's perspective. That's part of why Steam is so consumer friendly. Yeah, they have the right take on it. It's like people don't want to pirate games. That's the thing. Like, people will pirate as a last resort. They don't want to pirate games. And the way Steam like approaches it is like it's a service problem, or like more so than it is like you know, a pirating problem. I don't know how they put it, but basically, like, if you get if you give good service or a good product for the right value, people are gonna buy it. They're not gonna go like out of their way to like take a risk and buy it and get it from an unofficial source. Like, it's like some of the only reason you have to pirate games. It's like, okay, I want X or Y game. I don't want to pay for it though. Why? Why would you do that? Well, you know, maybe you don't like all the microtransactions, or maybe you don't like the DRM and sort of like that sort of stuff. So, you know, it's on the devs at the end of the day. Like, lightning and water. Careful about the phantom that's probably hiding around the corner here. No? Okay. Are we going? Speaking of Steam, SteamOS is becoming available for PCs with certain hardware configuration now. Dude, I'm so happy about SteamOS, man. Like, I think this is the future. Like, people are gonna, like, Microsoft fucked around and they're about to find out. Like, people are gonna leave Windows, dude. Their OS has been dog shit for years now. And finally, we're starting to have, like, viable alternative. People are gonna switch to SteamOS. It's really only a matter of times. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, we're at the brink of that. It's unfortunate that the Steam console... What is it called again? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, the Steam box, the GameCube. It's unfortunate that this is a complete failure. Because of the timing of the launch. Yeah, the Steam machine. It's a complete failure. It's unfortunate because that would have been another, like, stepping stone to pushing SteamOS forward. You know what I mean? Even though I had no interest in buying it, we wanted that to succeed, all things considered. Why no level HP? Good question. Even the normies will be pushed to switch with all the dystopian garbage coming out. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I agree with that. And also, like, the normies are also, like, attracted by straight up better performance. Like, what's crazy is, like, Windows has become so bad that you're losing actual performance over Linux because there's just so much bloat that even if Linux has like a translation layer with Proton and whatever, you're still coming out on top, which is kind of crazy. What is Buddy doing? These fights are taking too long. Yeah, I know. You need to speed it up. Yeah. You know, that's the unfortunate thing about Elden Ring, right? Like, back in Dark Souls 3, we would only invade and fight gankers because, you know, it was a gameplay loop that makes sense, and unfortunately, that gameplay loop doesn't make sense in Elden Ring anymore, so you're stuck playing people that don't really know or care much about PvP, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, exactly, Xenos. I mean, it's pretty documented, you know, like, it's like common knowledge at this point that Windows is such bloatware that it's just no matter what you run, as long as you don't run Windows, you're gonna be faster than Windows at this point. Somehow Proton doesn't even seem to have any input lag. I don't actually know. I've not looked up into that, but to be honest, input lag is also heavily correlated with the frame rate you get. So if you get better frame rate on Linux than you do on Windows, by default, your input lag is going to be lower. But yeah, it's coming, guys. Like it starts slowly like that, but like, oh, okay, like, you know, Linux is becoming more popular because of Steam Deck and whatever. Like, now, slowly but surely, like, studios have to, like, optimize their game for Linux platform now because it's a significant portion of the audience. And the more, like, SteamOS gets fleshed out and developed, you know, the more easier it is for people to make the switch and the more enjoyable it is for people to use that OS. And yeah, it's snowball effect, basically. Yeah, it just snowballs from there, and eventually, like, there's no reason to use Windows over Linux at some point in the future. There's no reason to, because all the softwares and all the things you need on Windows are there on Linux. We're not at that point yet. Like, right now, like, you could name, like, a software. There's a good chance that that software doesn't run on Linux like Windows, or doesn't run as well, or there's some sort of caveat to it. But that sort of stuff is not gonna be, it's not gonna be like that forever. Like, it goes with adoption, you know, like you said, it's a snowball effect. The more people adopt Linux, the more devs develop for Linux, and then the more people will adopt Linux. And, you know, the elephant in the room in all of this is, with the recent progress in artificial intelligence, developing software has become, like, democratized, easier, more accessible, you name it. And so vibe coding, as they call it, it's becoming a real thing. Like, you have, like, developers who don't really have any agenda. They just do whatever the fuck they want, and they're able to develop on any open source project that they want. Like, recently, for instance, a software like Blender is, like, you know, getting features after features, like, faster than any other, like, mainline software. Like, the other software getting more features is probably, like, Unreal Engine. But, like, Blender is, like, getting updates, like, so fast, it's, like, outpacing every other professional software. And it's open source. And why is it outpacing them? Well, it's because of AI. Like, individuals are using AI to vibe code shit into it. And it works. You know, people hate on AI all they want, but, like, there is some good side effect to that. Like, we get people that push toward the open source software side of things, and it becomes better faster than closed source stuff. You use Autodesk stuff a lot in their dinosaurs. Dude, talk to me about Maya, dude. Like, fucking Mayas. Like, they've been stagnant for so many fucking years. Like, it's just... You could, like, even... You could see that coming from a mile away. Like, that's the thing. They've been stagnant for so long that... Like, a lot of these softwares, like, not even one in particular, like, a lot of these software have been stagnant for so many years that... It's bound to happen. It's just, it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. And it's already happening. Like, Blender is really taking over. Like, the Autodesk suite, like you're saying, you know, Maya. Like, a ton of softwares are getting taken over by Blender. There's only, like, a few relevant ones that are still used. And most of the time, the reason why people still use, let's say, Maya or 3ds Max... It's really because that's all they ever used. Like, they've learned on this software, you know, they've trained on this software, they know all the shortcuts, they know the software in and out. And so, logically, for them to learn a new workflow would take a lot of time and effort, and it might not be worth the switch, basically, for a lot of these people who've been working on these software for years. That's the only thing that's saving these old softwares. It's the only thing. It's that people have been using them for years. And, you know, it's just part of their workflow, and they don't want to learn, like, a new workflow. That's really all there is to it. I try something here. I'm back, buddy. Oh. I think we had a chance to kill him if we just kept spamming. Problem is the newer software is blowing stuff out of the water, and you say that with 20 years of 3ds Max experience. Yeah. Windows is all inertia. Honestly, like, I think Windows is not inertia. Like, they've been progressing in the worst direction possible. Like, Windows has been progressing in the direction of, like, scraping as much analytic as they can get out of someone using their OS and bloating the system as much as they can. And so, as the user, you get no benefit. You only get negatives out of that. And so, they've been progressing in the wrong direction, and they're gonna pay the price for it in the future. That's what I think. And you know, there's other softwares that are in a similar boat. Like, you take a software like the Adobe suite, you know, like you have, like, you know, After Effects, you have Photoshop, you have like Premiere Pro. Like, you know, Adobe, like, you know, legitimately has, like, industry standard softwares. They're top of the line softwares. You know, when you use the thing, there's nothing really to complain about. It's as good as it gets. But they've been so anti-consumer for years, and there's starting to be more and more comparable softwares that don't have any of the issues that Adobe software have, especially with the pricing model. Like, you know, what is a good replacement to Premiere Pro, the editing software? Well, DaVinci Resolve is arguably better than Premiere now. And, you know, you can get that software for free, or you can pay a professional license for less than you'll ever pay for Premiere Pro. Photoshop, to this day, you know, I still don't think there's anything that is on the same level as Photoshop. But even stuff like Krita is getting dangerously close, and it's only, like, stuff like that are only going to close the gap as time goes on. And so the line is very fine between, like, Adobe getting replaced by other softwares that are simply, like, better value for the consumer because they provide the same features, or almost all the same features, for either a portion of the cost, consumer-friendly stuff. You're not held hostage by subscription. And quite frankly, it just, like, it pays more overall to use a lot of these, like, less expensive software, because, like, the subscriptions are starting to get so damn expensive that it eats into your fucking margin. Like, if you're a freelancer and you're using, like, Adobe stuff, like, shit, like, you pay thousands of dollars a year for your software suite. Like, you know, like, those thousands of dollars are money that you gets back in your pocket if you use another suit. You know what I mean? Like, it's very real. Like, a lot of these companies don't realize that you can't milk, like, the consumer base forever like that. Like, the pendulum is going to swing back at some point, and it's going to be nasty for a lot of them. And it's going to be nasty for those companies who don't provide, like, good consumer, you know, like, that are not, like, consumer friendly, basically. And, you know, like, we talk about Steam a lot, right? Like, I think the discussion started with Steam. Steam is one of these examples of, like, Steam has been very consumer friendly for years now, and people are actually loyal to Steam now. They'd rather buy Steam than pirating games like we were talking about earlier. Don't die, bro. I wanted to save my teammate, but that almost cost me. Teammate. We'll play, teammate. But yeah, I'm happy about that though. Like, all things considered, I think this whole, like, software revolution, let's call it that, I think it's going to be a good thing for us software users. I really do think so. Like, I know there's a lot of hate for AI, but, like, on the software side of things, like, AI is really, like, the catalyst that's pushing open source stuff, that's democratizing softwares, that's letting us use softwares that are top of the line, you know, without being held hostage by these horrible companies that charge you, like, a ludicrous amount of money for something that's worth much less than that. And so the pendulum is slowly swinging back, and it's the same thing with the Windows OS. Like, I'm sure Steam OS is going to take over at some point. It's going to take a while, you know, like, these sort of transitions don't happen overnight, but I can definitely see that being the future, for sure. Any thoughts on AI seemingly moving to toward local models instead of subscription? I think that's good, you know, that's good for all of us. Like, it's sort of like the same idea, right? Like, a lot of these, you know, AI providers, let's call them that, like, you know, like the OpenAI, the Anthropic, you name it. Like, that aggressive pricing model is not sustainable for a lot of the work that people are doing. Like, there's a big, like, crave right now. But, like, let's say you're a programmer and you're coding using Claude, you know, the classic, that's pretty much the standard nowadays. You're paying a lot of money just to be able to you know, to code with Claude. And, like, at some point, it starts to make more sense to just hire someone else to use Claude, you know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna pay someone to do it for you instead, and it's gonna cost you the same as you pay for the service for Claude directly, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, there's a point where paying for it doesn't make sense anymore. But, you know, as it stands right now, like, there's a reason why like a company like Anthropic is charging so much for Claude, it's because they simply do not have the infrastructure in place to, like, you know, for the demand that they have. Like, they don't have, there's not enough compute for the whole AI ecosystem. There's just not enough compute for all the demand and the need. And that's where, you know, that's where, like, the whole, like, AI bubble discussion starts. Like, people think that, you know, this whole, like, AI craze thing is a bubble, but at the end of the day, like, the reason why, like, you know, these companies are moving so much is because there's too much demand for the supply. That's the thing. It's a supply and demand thing, like everything else. And the providers are losing a ton of money. Actually, Anthropic turned profitable recently, which apparently, like, from what I read, I think they're like, I don't want to say random numbers, but they're like way earlier than they anticipated as far as profitability. Like, they thought they would be profitable in like a long time from now, and like they're so ahead of schedule that Anthropic's already profitable now. So it's pretty crazy. But, like, I know OpenAI is far from profitable, you know, like, Grok is also, I think, far from profitable. I don't really know any other models on top of my head. Gemini, I don't know if Gemini is considered profitable, because, like, Gemini is sort of like the cost for Google running Gemini is sort of, like, camouflaged into, like, the search function. So, like, Google basically gets to subsidize whatever feature they want, because their advertising business, like, just generates so much money that, you know, they make more than you know, whatever cost they invest at the end of the day. But, you know, this might not last forever, though. Well, this won't last forever. Like there's more demand than there is supply, but at some point, like, it's gonna happen at some point, the supply will meet the demand, and that's why people call it a bubble. It's just not quite, you know, like, when people say bubble, like, people are usually referring to, like, the dot-com bubble, where everything was happening on margin, and, you know, there was no value whatsoever being created, and it was just pure speculation. Or, like, you know, the crypto and NFT craze, which had, like, no, like, real fundamental behind it. That's not quite what's happening. It's a supply and demand scenario right now. It's actually very different. But yeah, like, DeepSeek, you know, the Chinese models are just so fucking promising. Like, there's a saying that it is basically, like, the Chinese models are about, like, 6 months behind, like, the frontier models. So, like, whatever you can do now with Claude, you're going to be able to do that, like, 6 months from now. With, like, some of the Chinese models, you know. It just moves so fast. Another huge thing is the frontier devs can't stop China distilling their model. Yeah. Yeah, the reason why the Chinese models are so good is they're basically, like, sort of like stealing the data from the frontier models. That's kind of funny, honestly. Guys, I forgot where's that spot to jump. I know there's a spot somewhere, but I forgot where it is. Is it this way? Where's that spot again? I completely forgot. I only used it once. Well, for now, we're gonna head back. I think I'm heading the wrong way. Not here. Oh, it's over there. I see it. Okay, it's over here. Okay. Wait. I'm actually confused right now. I feel like it's over here, but how do I get up there? Oh! Oh, now I remember. Okay, yeah, that's where these guys are anyway. Okay. And Warp Finger, we trust. Yeah, I don't trust it though. That's the thing. Can I make the jump here fairly safely? Mildly safely. Oh yeah, I can't jump. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. That's enough, that's enough Elden Ring for today, I think. So we still had a problem with the stream today. Like the stream basically like closed for a second and restarted. Although I'm not sure that's the connection this time around because OBS didn't show any issue. What about like the frame drops? Like did you guys get any lag or like frame drops throughout the stream, however? Like for you guys who've been watching like since the start? Or actually for anyone? I mean, I did change some settings in OBS, but like I can't really know if it does anything until I try it. No? Okay. Alright, well. Thanks, guys. I appreciate everyone coming by the stream again. Thank you guys coming. Thank you guys for staying by. Really appreciate it. And hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Probably multiple root issues, yeah. It's hard to figure that stuff out. Alright guys, have a good one. Take it easy, everyone. Let's raid okay, we got Owen and let's raid Owen.